Okay, so we have a question here. What is the reason why fasting is prescribed in the month of Ramadan? Allah has mentioned the reason and wisdom behind fasting in the Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may become al-muttaqun. Now, what does al-muttaqun mean? It means a person who has taqwa, a person who is mindful of Allah, is conscious of Allah. He knows that Allah sees and hears everything, is aware of everything. And so for that reason, he avoids anything that could displease Allah. Fasting is a means of attaining taqwa. And taqwa means doing that which Allah has enjoined and avoiding that which He has forbidden. Among the reasons behind fasting are, number one, fasting is a means that makes us appreciate and give thanks for pleasures. For fasting means giving up eating, drinking, and sexual intercourse, which are among the greatest pleasures. By giving them up for a short period of time, we begin to appreciate their value. We enjoy the blessings of Allah, but we sometimes don't truly appreciate them because they come part of our everyday life. But when you abstain from them, you begin to recognize them. So this motivates you to be grateful for them. Number two, fasting is a means of giving up haram things. Because if a person can give up halal things in order to please Allah and for fear of His painful punishment, then he will be more likely to refrain from haram things. So fasting is a means of avoiding the things that Allah has forbidden. Number three, fasting enables us to control our desires. Because if a person is full, his desires grow. But if he is hungry, then his desire becomes weak. Hence, the Prophet ﷺ said, O young men, whoever among you can afford to get married, let him do so. For it is more effective in lowering the gaze and protecting one's chastity. Whoever cannot do that, let him fast, for it will be a shield for him. Number four, fasting makes us feel compassion and empathy towards the poor. Because when the fasting person tastes the pain of hunger for a while, he remembers those who are in this situation all the time. And so he will hasten to do acts of kindness to them and show compassion towards them. So fasting is a means of feeling empathy towards the poor. Number five, fasting humiliates and weakens the shaitan. It weakens the effects of his whispers on a person and reduces his sins. That is because the shaitan flows through the son of Adam like blood, as the Prophet ﷺ said. But fasting narrows the passages through which the shaitan flows, so his influence becomes less. Number six, the fasting person is training himself to remember that Allah is always watching. So he gives up the things that he desires even though he is able to take them, because he knows that Allah can see him. Number seven, fasting means developing an attitude of self-restraint towards this world and its desires, and seeking the life of the hereafter. And number eight, it makes the Muslim get used to doing a great deal of acts of worship, because the fasting person usually does more acts of worship and gets used to that. And so these are some of the reasons why fasting is prescribed upon the Muslims in the month of Ramadan.